Picture the universe as a vast, intricate clockwork mechanism running strictly on its own predictable gears. For centuries, we have operated under the assumption that this objective physical world exists entirely independent of our observation. But human biology tells a different story. In this diagram, you can see the actual reality of your environment. Every single second, your nervous system is bombarded by an overwhelming, chaotic flood of roughly 11 million bits of raw sensory information. When that massive wave hits your conscious mind, your brain performs a ruthless act of triage. It violently bottlenecks the data, allowing a tiny, highly organized trickle of just 40 to 50 bits to actually pass through into your awareness. The consequence of this massive data loss is that the world you navigate every day is built entirely from that tiny trickle. You are not interacting with raw, objective reality, but with a highly curated, heavily edited model constructed by your own neurology. Your physical senses don't function as objective cameras recording the environment. They operate as strict sensors. Because of this severe biological filtering, we are entirely blind to the vast majority of the actual physical environment surrounding us. This breakdown of the objective world is not isolated to human neurology. When you zoom past biology down to the fundamental subatomic building blocks of matter, the concept of a solid, fixed universe completely falls apart. Take a look at this model of a subatomic particle. Before it is measured by a scientist, it does not exist as a solid piece of matter. It operates as a wave function, a hazy, unpredictable cloud of infinite potential locations and states. The moment a scientist attempts to measure or observe it, the wave function instantly collapses. The mere act of observation forces that cloud of probability to snap into a single, sharply defined point of physical reality. Physics can mathematically prove that the observer forces reality to materialize. What the equations cannot tell us is how human beings can consciously direct that collapse in their own daily lives. If our perception physically shapes the material world at a structural level, we have to ask, who or what is programming the filters of our perception in the first place? In 1963, a woman named Jane Roberts was living a quiet life in upstate New York. She was a sharp, highly rational writer who viewed spiritual claims with deep skepticism. Her strict worldview shattered one evening when her consciousness unexpectedly expanded beyond her physical body. She began speaking for an energy personality essence that identified itself as Seth. Looking at this photograph of their early sessions, you can see the tension in their hands. What started as a casual research experiment with a Ouija board deeply unsettled both Jane and her equally skeptical husband, Rob. Through this vintage Smith Corona electric typewriter, her husband Rob transcribed the daily sessions entirely verbatim. Bypassing vague spiritual platitudes entirely, the intelligence coming through Jane dictated an impossibly precise mechanical explanation for how reality is constructed. The dictated texts mapped the exact mechanics of the observer effect and neuroplasticity decades before mainstream science developed the vocabulary to study them. The resulting thousands of pages, known as the Seth material, do not outline a mystical religion. They serve as the missing operational manual for human perceptual machinery. The foundational rule of this manual is that physical reality is a camouflage reality. The material world you walk through is a subjective, individualized projection masquerading as a shared external space. The blueprint for this projection is built from your core beliefs. These act as your brain's reticular activating system, physically filtering incoming data. If a person holds a deep belief in scarcity, they literally cannot perceive the incredible opportunities surrounding them. Notice how this blueprint requires energy to activate. Thoughts alone are powerless wireframes. They require the intense electromagnetic fuel of deep, underlying emotions, what Seth called feeling tones, to build physical momentum. The final locking mechanism is expectation. When a deeply fueled belief meets a strict expectation of what happens next, it anchors the energetic blueprint into a sustained, solid physical event. This specific sequential machinery explains why superficial positive thinking always fails. The physical world only ever materializes your deepest underlying feeling tones and expectations, entirely ignoring the words you speak. To test this mechanism, we don't need to look at external circumstances. We can examine the most intimate physical boundary we have, the human body. Most of us operate under the deeply ingrained assumption that our flesh and bone is an independent biological machine, running on fixed, uncontrollable genetic programming. Seth's mechanic of the flesh argues otherwise. The cellular structure of your body exists in a continuous state of materialization, actively taking its moment-to-moment instructions directly from your inner feeling tones. If you hold a core, unexamined belief that physical decline is inevitable, you are actively instructing your nervous system to manifest those exact symptoms, creating a closed, negative feedback loop. Bodily symptoms and external struggles are rarely attacks from the outside. They are perfect, highly faithful physical reflections of your own inner perceptual landscape. This reveals the fundamental trap of human behavior. Spending enormous energy trying to force external circumstances to change is exactly like trying to alter your reflection by touching the glass of a mirror. Trusting your physical senses to tell you what is true keeps you locked in that trap, because your five senses are only capable of showing you the materialized past results of your old beliefs. True agency requires a different approach. Seth's ultimate directive is simple. The present is the point of power. To change the reflection, you must intercept and question your invisible core beliefs right now, before they materialize. Genuinely changing a core belief has a strict biological outcome. It physically rewires your nervous system, forcing the brain to build new neural pathways capable of perceiving a different reality. The physical world is not a fixed environment you simply endure. It is a highly responsive medium, and when you finally change the filter of your perception, reality has no choice but to shift and rearrange itself to meet you.
Thank you for watching. If something in this resonated with you, then you're already closer than you think. If you're ready to go deeper, there's a link below to my book, The Seth Revolution: How Consciousness Creates Reality. This isn't theory, it's a framework you can actually use. Tap the link below and step into it.